Hey, what's up, guys? It's Canadian Gay here, back with episode number 10 of the Boston Red Sox franchise mode series here on the channel. One thing I want to let you guys know before we get started is our record and other teams' records are going to be a little bit different from what you've last seen. And that is because I was at this point, I believe. You can see the wins and losses are different and our record is different. I got it to this point. Ended the recording, and after some time I put my PlayStation into rest mode. I did not save where I left off, and then it was storming that night, and the power did go out for like a second, so it turned off. It didn't save, and I believe I was at like this point or this point, whatever game that we played against these Angels here. I know it was one of them, but we left off there, and I just simulated up to this point here just to get back to where we were. So things are going to be looking different than what they do or what they did last episode. So I do apologize for that. But that kind of stuff is out of my control. So take a look at the standings now. We're still fourth in the AL East. I think that's where we were before. We may have even been third. But we're right behind the Rays, so give or take, whatever. And AL wildcard, 6.5 games back. I do think it was a little bit closer, so we are a little bit farther behind than where we were, but that's okay. That just means we have to win more, and there's nothing wrong with winning more. So I think in this episode, I'm going to make some trades. I'm not going to completely sell, but I'm not going to completely buy either. Like, for example, I'm not going to trade Rafael Devers in this episode. I'm not going to trade him. I'm hoping to work out a long-term contract extension if I'm comfortable with it. And then in the coming days, if not, we have an entire offseason to try and negotiate with him. And we can tender him qualifying offer. If he leaves, we get a draft pick. And if he decides to stay, or hopefully he'll still be wanting to take that hometown discount. I'm not going to trade Jake Odorizzi away either. He's been really good for us since joining the team. He's made 12 starts with us, and he's stepped in quite nicely. You know, on a regular team, he's probably a 4th or 5th guy, but right now, I believe he is our quote-unquote ace. Yeah, he's our number 1 starter. He's doing just fine there. I'm not going to move him. James Paxton is somebody I am going to look to move in this episode. 34 years old, 1 year left on his contract, is not performing well at all. 5.27 ERA, 1.46 WHIP, a negative WAR. Just somebody that we don't really need here when we're trying to go for a wild card spot, and he hasn't been performing at all. 34 years old. He probably won't be back with us next year anyway, so I'm going to see if I can trade him off to a perennial contender that is basically guaranteed a playoff spot, who could use some left-handed pitching and some starting pitching depth. Nick Bavetta ain't going anywhere. He's going to stay here. He's been really performing well since joining Boston, pretty much. The last 2 years especially. Kevin Plawecki. Probably can't get much for him. I'll have to see what we can get for him. Nomar Mazara. I'd probably want to hold on to, but if I can get something for him, like, take a look at him. He has a 0.6 WAR. That's above average. So I might hold on to him, might not. So I'm not going to make any trades right now. I'm going to sim past the All-Star game in the Home Run Derby. So let's actually see who's in the All-Star game here. Let's see who is representing us. If I had to guess, I would say Xander Bogaerts. But could be someone else too. So no pitchers are representing us. And no starters. Christian Vasquez, the former Red Sox. All right. There's Xander Bogaerts. He is our lone representative. So Xander Bogaerts is a All-Star this year. All right. So suddenly it passed at the NL, win the All-Star game. All right. I'm gonna summate over this Toronto series. Devers 15-game hidden streak. Not really worth it. I hope he got it there. Did he get it? He did get it. All right. Do we have 27? We do. David Goulon. Jefferson Cuero is going to go down. Cole Cottom going to go down. And you know what? I'm going to go with the youth movement here. Kevin Plawecki is going to be sent down for now. Double A. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who can I send down? I actually don't think I need to right now because I think this is where I'm gonna make that trade. I would have sent him down for now. So I am gonna make a trade right now. Or should it be after the Marlins series? I'll submit the Marlins series. Somebody pass out, we win both. Alright, so one final check. Where we are, 6 games back. Guardians, Rays, Angels, Yankees, Mariners are all fighting for that wildcard spot. And we're 11.5 games out of first. We're not going to win this division. Our hope is to get into the wild card. We have to do better than the Mariners and the Yankees. So it is going to be tough. But I think with some smart trades, we could stay competitive and hope for a playoff push here. So I did some pre-scouting off screen, and a team that I would think would want James Paxton would be the Miami Marlins. And I would be interested in getting Tanner Allen back. He's an outfielder who can play first base. He has good base stats, something to grow on, but 67 overall, 24 years old, left-handed hitters, good defender out there in left, center, right, and at first base. He's not doing so hot in Double-A, but it's something for James Paxton. And the reason why I think James Paxton would work here, we take a look at their starting pitching. They have Sandy Alcantara, who is one of the better pitchers in the league. Trevor Rogers, one of the better younger players in the league. Pablo Lopez, 1 year left on his deal, has arbitration. Sixto Sanchez, so that's their fourth. Their fifth is Eliezer Hernandez. And then Jesus Luzardo is a lefty. I believe that's 2 lefties in the rotation. And then 1 lefty out of the pen. So it's actually two lefties out of the pen. So I think another lefty would help them. And before we actually pull this off, the Marlins are 2.5 games back out of their division. And they're currently in the second wildcard spot. So I think adding would be in their best interest. While not giving up, a roster player. So we send them James Paxton. We get Tanner Allen. And they agreed to that deal. So Paxton is now a Marlin. Tanner Allen is now a Red Sox. All right. Next up, I am going to be... who should I trade first? Right, I was looking at adding a starting pitcher, and the Tigers came up. It's not Tariq Skubal, not bringing back Rodriguez, not Casey Mize. I was thinking about Spencer Turnbull, but 1 year after Tommy John, and then coming back having a good year for Detroit, still has 2 years left of service for the Tigers. I'm not going to get him. They just acquired James Caprillion this year, and he's doing pretty good, so not him, not Jesus Gallegos, but one person who's fallen out of favor maybe in Detroit, and Matt Manning. 25 years old, has 2 years of MLB service under his belt, so still a lot of team control there, can start games for us right now, and in the majors, 55 and 1/3 innings pitch, a 5.86 ERA, 1.66 WHIP is not good, so we probably don't have to give up much for him. And he's shown in the past, at least in real life, that he can be a solid pitcher in the league. And 25 years old is with no options used, so we can bring him up, send him down however we please. I think we'll be smart. So Matt Manning coming to Boston. And the players we would be sending back would be Jake Means. There's one going back. Another one would be David Hamilton. And the other one, I can't remember who it was. It was Brandon Walt. Who was it? No trades were found. Interesting. It says we're not interested in completing this deal at the moment, but when I was pre-scouting, it says it was. Is there anyone? So even Brian Bello, they're not interested, or Tanner Houck, or Rafi Devers. So they must like Matt Manning. They must have changed their minds. That's weird. So I guess Matt Manning is off the table. That's interesting. Because like I said before, when I was pre-scouting, he came up and they said they were interested in moving him. I'm just gonna go to the bottom here. I want to bring in a young controllable starter that can help us right now. Ian Anderson. Would Atlanta want to give him up? He's not starting any games. I could try, but that's a lot of value. David Hamilton. Jake Means. So they just don't like Jake Means. Okay, hold on. Was that the situation with Detroit? Was it they just don't like Jake Means? So let's say if I throw in Hamilton. Okay, they just don't want Jake Means, apparently. Sorry, Jake. I guess we'll hold on to you for now. Kyle McMahon. I wonder if it's because I just signed these guys recently, and that's why it's being like that. If that's like a feature in the game, like you can't sign players to trade them away. Okay, so I can get this. Brendan Walter. Would they want Brendan Walter, or would they want like a Tim Kate or Connor Siebold? Thad Ward. I'll send him Thad Ward, 26 years old. Who else can I send them? Can I send them back John Schreiber? They would do that. Schreiber, who's not been particularly good in the majors this year, is not really dominating at the AAA level either. Send him back to Detroit, where he spent 2 years. I'm gonna pull the trigger here. So John Schreiber, David Hamilton, and Thad Ward going to Detroit, where we get Matt Manning. I'm gonna pull this off, and there you go. We get Matt Manning from the Tigers. So I'm looking at here now. We just insert Manning for where Paxton was. And yeah, I like that. Okay. I do believe I had one more trade in mind. And it would be Alex Verdugo. Yes, I know. Alex Verdugo, 26 years old. His potential is dropping. 82 overall is, and you're thinking this is somebody you want to hold on to. You can build around him. He has good contact stats, good vision. He's an excellent defender. Why would you want to trade him? Look what he's done for us in our 2 years. Last year, batted 248, on-base percentage of 290, OPS of 671. That's awful. Look what he's doing this year in 86 games, batting 180, on-base percentage of 243, OPS of 522. That's absolutely unplayable. A negative 2.4 WAR. He's not even a bench player. This guy's a AAA bench player at best. But the name does hold value, and so do his defense and his potential is still there. Like he's hit 294, 308, 289. This guy has shown in the past that he can still be that great player, but in 2 years he hasn't been that. So we're gonna move on, give him a fresh start, and we're gonna send him to to where he was born in Arizona, and we're gonna be getting back Pavin Smith. Pavin Smith, I believe, is a former first-round pick. I believe he was drafted as a first baseman. I may be wrong, but he can play the outfield as well. He's got a good arm, not nearly as good a defender as Verdugo. I would say a better hitter than Verdugo. Hasn't really gotten a shot in the major leagues. For us, I believe he is going to be a bench player. I have to look at the lineup he might play versus righties and not lefties. Could be a situation like that. But he's still got 4 years of team control, and we're sending them Verdugo in hopes of him getting a fresh start can help him. And he would play every day. He's probably already one of the better players on the Diamondbacks team. So we'll be sending him to Arizona. And I do believe I wanted to try and get Tristan English, but I do believe I had to throw in someone else as well. And I think that is going to be Danny Mendick for salary reasons. We get off a little bit more money. And who could I send them? Dakota Mekis. Yeah, I'll send them Dakota Mekis. Just a filler. So we're sending them Verdugo, Mendick, and Mekis to Arizona for Tristan English, a first baseman who can also play third and probably corner outfield. And outfielder and first baseman Pavin Smith. There you go. Alex Verdugo is in Arizona. Pavin Smith is in Boston. And I do believe that is going to be it for the trading portion of the episode. I mean, I would love to move Trevor Story, but contract is virtually unmovable. Like, I'm not getting anything suffice here at all. Like, there's absolutely nothing here that I want, so I'm not going to trade him. If I were to trade Rafi Devers for prospects, which we would want if we're selling off Devers, Baltimore, we're not trading to Interdivision. White Sox, no, like, I would want him out of the AL, so it would have to be sending him to the NL. Bryce Elder, like, not nearly enough. I would want an A-plus prospect, like a Giga Berry, or Max Meyer, Mark Vientos. Like, this one, I would say is close. We're just missing that A prospect. Like, I would want an A prospect and 2 B prospects. But I don't think we're going to get that. If he had 2 years left or like another year team control, then maybe we would actually probably get that, but not here. So that is going to do it for the trading. Oh, excuse me. Take a look at the lineups now. Pavin Smith or Arroyo. I do want to play Pavin Smith versus righties, so he is going to go there. Franchi Cordero. I'm going to send down Franchi Cordero. He needs to be a guy off the bench. Who can I call up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's actually still 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to call up Jaron Duran. Younger player. See what he can do for us again. Excuse me. Don't believe I need to call up anybody else. Cutter Crawford. Anyone I need to send down? Pierce Johnson, I just claimed, actually. Don't think I show you guys that. Brian Bello. Send him down. Recall. Who can I recall? Cutter Crawford, I recall. And should I give him some starts? or Garrett Whitlock. I'm gonna try Garrett Whitlock in the rotation. So there's that. All right. Take a look at the contract extension candidates throughout the league. Realistically, who would sign a long-term extension at a deadline? Who would be the most eager to sign that contract extension? Mutually, of course. Just looking around. Atlanta has shown to be aggressive in re-signing their guys. Max Fried does have arbitration. Minter does as well. Kenley Jansen. No, I don't see them signing any of these guys yet. No need, really. I would think it would have to be an independent free agent, right? Liam Hendricks. Would he stay in New York? He's been pretty good. What would he want? I don't know. Jacob deGrom. I think the Mets would be pretty aggressive in trying to bring him back. 3-year deal. Branch was 37. I'm thinking a 4-year deal. 4 years. 85 to 88 mil. Already taking a pretty big pay cut from 27.5. So maybe he would want more. Maybe he would want to raise one last big contract. Well, 4 years, 96. 4 years, 96. That's 24 mil per. 96.5. There you go. 4 years, 96.5 for Jacob deGrom. He signs that. deGrom is going to stay in New York. Aaron Nola, one of the top pitchers on the free agent, that would be in the free agent market. He'd probably want to test. Ian Happ. He is a free agent. Okay. What would you want on a contract extension? I'm thinking 6 to 8 years for Ian Happ. What would he command? Past 2 years has been really, really good. Probably 24 to 26 mil, I would say. So let's take a look at 25 mil for him. 7 years, 175. Let's see. No, he wouldn't do that. I'm trying to see if they would do like a keep Ryan Hayes treatment, sign him 8 years at a young age. Ryan Reynolds. Get him locked up long term, 8 years. Only wants like 15 mil. Interesting. Jack Flaherty. Another top option at the starting position. For free agency, he'd probably want to test. Josh Hader. San Diego's known to be aggressive in bringing their guys back, especially as of late. I don't know. I think I might just leave it at that. Just sign one guy. I think I am just going to leave it at that. Or unless I want to re-sign Presley for them. For the Astros. Be like a 2-year deal to stay the closer. 2 years, 19 mil. Stay the closer. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. 2 years, 21.5. There you go. Christian Javier. Um, it looks like Oakland and Detroit struck it. That must have been the Caprillion deal. They got Castro and Badu and Bo Brisky from the Tigers. An interesting move. Okay. Julio Rodriguez. Would he sign? Maybe. Maybe. Alright. I'm done looking around here. Let's simulate this series here. Let's get it to the actual trade deadline. Devers 20-game hit streak. Oh, did he get it? Is the streak alive? It is. There you go. Pirates trade to Kupitia, to Supita Marcano, Chase Silseth. Pirates trade Brian Reynolds to the Cubs for Ferris, Nelson, and Franklin. The Cubs and Brian Reynolds. Hold on. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know. I don't know if I want to keep that one or not. You know what? I'll wait. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'll think about it and I'll veto it off screen if I have to, if I feel like it's out of place. I'm gonna wrap it up here. We're at the trade deadline. I'm only wrapping it up here because I will still need to think about if I'm really gonna sell, whether I'm gonna go all in, and I still need to do the trades for the AI teams. So I'll do that all off screen and we'll do a recap next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, leave a like. If you want to see more content like the one you just saw, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.